What up, people? It's your boy Master Chudy out with another review. Sorry I've been a little bit out of the way. Had to get my phone in order and fixed. Unfortunately, I don't have, I'm just starting this out. Don't got the right equipment, but maybe one day I will. Okay, so today I'm reviewing Darth Maul, issue 5, the last of a 5 issue series. I'm very into Star Wars, and this might become a shock to you all since I've been reviewing DC comics most of the time. And Maul is actually, I have to say, out of all the unfortunate canon Sith Lords around, he's probably my favorite. And I've been very interested in this. I wanted to give it a look. I've read all the issues basically, and so it feels good to cap this out about this today, and I like to just enter you know into the mind of Maul here, and it's a very good comic. They really did a good job looking into when Maul was really when he was really into serving Sidious, his master, what his proclivities were, what motivated him. Basically, in this issue, he wants to kill Jedi. He wants to kill the Jedi. This takes place before the Phantom Menace, just before the Phantom Menace, and he wants to prove his skills and everything like that. So he's trying to find a good challenge. So he basically hunts down and finds this Jedi Padawan in which he wants to take down and execute to be his first Jedi that he kills, just so that he can satiate his appetite for his hatred of the Jedi. And I have to say, this is a very good one. So, let me get into it. Pretty much. Sith Apprentice Darth Maul. It's very good. He infiltrated an auction, everything like that. So, once again, very nice. So, basically, this woman here is the owner of this auction that was auctioning off the Padawan to various crime syndicates. You had the Black Sun, the Pikes, and a couple of others who wanted to buy this Jedi Padawan because a Jedi Padawan is fetches a very high price. So basically, Maul and his crew with the Padawan had crashed on this moon, basically, with the Padawan, and so all of these groups have been attacking them. But of course, Maul and his crew have been, the bounty hunters he hired have been killing them off. And she's like, oh, and the guy and his people are like, and her people are like, yeah, all the bounty hunters and all the organizations have been getting killed off. She's like, oh, really? It's like, she's like, have their payments cleared? And it's like, yeah, they have. He's like, okay, well, they're getting what they paid for. So, she's a very interesting one-off character. So then we have Maul. And I have to say, Maul right here, really demonic right here, the glowing eyes and everything like that. And he has this dual-bladed lightsaber. So the dialogue really reflects Maul. He's basically saying, for this moment, I've risked everything. I've been trained for one task. My rage has been honed into a weapon, serving one purpose, to kill Jedi. And yet I've been ordered to wait and bide my time, most of my anger. And secretly I stalked this enemy. So he's like, he couldn't really he wanted so bad to prove himself all the time. It's like, if my master learns of my betrayal, all my training would be for naught. Yet as lightsaber flares against lightsaber for the first time, I know one thing is for certain: it's worth it. So he's like, yeah, I get to satiate my appetite. I get to do this. I get to fight to my heart's content and kill a Jedi, which I think really describes Maul in his pre-Phantom Menace mindset when as a Sith. And this is a very nice pose as it harkens back to what he did to Obi-Wan. Because I've watched the movie lastly, and I've watched the fights on YouTube. Like, this is exactly how Maul blocked Obi-Wan when he and Qui-Gon were fighting him head on for the first time. He did that exact block. The Padawan's name, Elja Caddis. She's very nice character. I really like her. Twi'lek Padawan, who's pretty good, and she's engaging Maul pretty well, and he's noting it. He's like, Elja Caddis. She is cunning, fast, strong with the Force. Like, but Maul's like, but she is not my equal. It's like, she is like all Jedi inferior. They're really getting Maul in this. It's just nice, he's just engaged in combat. But I need this fight to prove it to myself. That's why she must die. So meanwhile, we have these Trandoshans, boss people, if you don't know, the lizard dude. So they're two ships. And then we have this nice pic of Cad Bane and Aurra Sing, which was very nice to see, because really like Cad Bane in the Clone Wars, and I wish Aurra got more screen time in the Clone Wars, because I found her intriguing as well. Then they got this maggot dude, or fly dude, I'm not sure. So, Cad Bane is like, okay, we need to get off this planet, take your pick. And, she's like, let's go after Trandoshan ships. And he's like the way, I like the sound of that. It's like, but the weak are likely to have more profitable cargo. And, Cad Bane's like, decisions. And he's like, okay, it's time is money, so let's make this quick. Try to keep the damage to the ship a minimum. I don't want to break down the middle of space. And, Cad Bane throws his grenades, or smoke bombs. So I guess he decides to go for the Trandoshan ship because he takes out the Trandoshans. And Cad Bane pretty much dispatches them. He's like too easy. And you got these dudes who look to be like from Hondo's crew from the Clone Wars. So if y'all haven't watched the Clone Wars, basically Hondo and Akka, space pirate. And so you have these guys saying they're going for the Trandoshan ship. What do we do? And he's like, why should we care? I ain't making friends with those lizards, and I ain't gonna be a hero. But of course, Aurra comes from behind, and he's like, you really should have been watching your own backs, honey. Rubbernecking gets you nowhere. Nice. And then this dude is like, keep him with us, we'll take him alive. And Aura's like, why? We don't need a hostage. I didn't say anything about a hostage. This is a snack. So yeah, this guy loves eating people. A lot. Loves eating people a lot in this series. And Cad Bane's like, that's my ride. And then Cad Bane flies up. He's like, welcome aboard, Bane. So, where to? And Bane's like, our client said to tear through the other ships, and that's what we're going to do. Should be simple enough. They won't be expecting an attack from one of their other hunting parties. Then we pick up Maul. Assuming he's still alive. So Maul is still facing the Padawan. And, this is nice. It's like she surprises me. It's like, and, she managed to get a good cut on him. Bam. Takes advantage of my overconfidence. Which is very odd, because he even acknowledges that he was overconfident, which wonders why he didn't take this into account when he was first defeated by Obi-Wan. It's like, I thought she was finished, defeated before the battle had even started, but I misjudged her. I underestimated her spirit. And you have Maul like, yes, this is the battle I've wanted. And, the writing here is just great. And the artwork. It's like the Padawan demands my attention, if not my respect. A lapse in concentration. One misstep, and she'll cut me down. She defends, yes, but I can see in her eyes, in her movements. Eldra Caddis is biding her time, waiting for the perfect instance to strike. And she says, I'm not going to let you butcher me, which I think is, very good stuff. So Maul is like, in this way, she is more like the Sith I would have expected. And even if you did, I am not the Jedi Knight you want to fight. I'm just a student, a Padawan. And it's clear, like, I don't know what Maul feels for this person, but it's like he really, really hopes, or in the back of his mind, maybe wished that if things had been different, she could have been his apprentice and everything like that. It's just interesting. I cannot help but be distracted by the possibilities. She could be turned to the dark side, but her survival is something I cannot risk. If she lives, my master will learn of my betrayal. And still, even with the certainty of my actions before me, I cannot focus. Another thrilling prospect dances through my mind. Will all the Jedi I'm destined to kill, the Padawans and Knights alike, present me with such a worthy challenge? And she throws his lights. She gives him a force push. He hits the ball. She throws his lightsaber right at him, and right above his head. And he's like, a wasted effort. If you're going to throw your weapon, make sure you hit the target. And she's like, I wasn't throwing at you. And then we see a nice pick of rocks tumbling down, and they tumble down at Maul. And she picks up her lightsaber, and she looks, and she says, ah. Maul comes in and delivers the killing blow. Killing blow. And Maul, and she's like about to, and she's going to die pretty much. And Maul is like, make no mistake, Elder Caddis, you are a Jedi. And, this could have been a sign of respect, saying that you pushed me this far, and while I hate the Jedi, you do have the strength of a Jedi. You are a Jedi, and everything like that. I think that's a way, even though Maul killed her and was going to plan on killing her, this was a sign of respect. And so we get a good shot of Maul. I just really like Maul. He's such a compelling villain, And just like that, it is done. I've killed my first Jedi, the first of many. Her light has been snuffed, and he destroys her lightsaber. And I feel, and then we see this 3PO droid be like, is someone there? I thought I heard someone. I've been wondering. I'm afraid I can't see. Oh, please be friendly. And of course, Maul destroys him. Doesn't want any witnesses apparently. Then we have Maul's like droids, and he's like, where? And then he's like, I expected the bounty hunters to abandon me, and yet they're here. It would appear I've underestimated them as well. The force is not strong with them, but the desire for payment is. They will return home with them. They need me to return home with them to pay them, and I will see to it that they're compensated, but I will not be traveling with them. There is not the only debt I must repay. And it's funny. So apparently the auctioneer basically is asking for more wine. And, she's asking me where are her servants, and you expect a response. And then Maul comes and is like, you'll not get one. They're all dead. And she's like, of course. If I known I had so little time left, I would have requested a better vintage. So she's like, yep, I know the score. So, I don't suppose I could barter my life. Let me live, and I'll make it worth your while. Maul's like, your money is useless to me. Then is it vengeance for the girl, for the Padawan? And that seems to have struck a nerve. But he's like saying, I do not seek to avenge the Jedi. I would never do such a thing. That is not the reason I'm here. But it seems to be the reason. It's like he's trying to find like some other reason why. Because for all he knows, he could have he's just trying to find another reason. Then what is your kind trades in? That is what your kind trades in it, not revenge. Yes, I know what you are. Although I thought all of you had died long ago. And he's like, okay, finally I have an excuse. Well, not really an excuse. He's like, finally I have a reason. And he's like, yeah, that's it. Say it. Give me a reason. Sith. And now he's like saying, okay, now I can kill you because I can't risk you revealing that the Sith are back. Basically. But it's clear from what I gather is that he wants to avenge this girl. Even though he wanted to kill her, even though he wanted to kill the Padawan, he's like, I don't know, he felt like maybe he really wished that he hadn't. But then, of course, that's not really Maul. We don't know. So he, of course, takes down the auctioneer. And then we get back to Coruscant. And then we have him and Sidious saying, tell me, my apprentice, do you feel satisfied now that you've slain the Padawan? Has your bloodlust been sated? And Maul's like, you mean you knew? And of course, it's Palpatine, of course. It's like, of course. Wasn't not I who set you on this path? Did you believe you would uncover a secret to which I was not already privy? It's like, a trial. You were testing my loyalty, and I failed. And then Sidious is like, have you? The Sith were born in defiance. You have embraced the very nature of our order. And then he's like saying, so I ask again, are you satisfied? And he's like, no. And Sidious is like, good. It's like, good. So, It's like pretty much saying, at last I know how it feels taking a Jedi life. I did not foresee this. I expected to be fulfilled at my last, at least momentarily, by the act, but my rage, my hatred has only intensified. Eldritch has died, and I should only feel more empty. And emptiness I have been trained to fill in only one way, by slaying Jedi. Eldritch Caddis was but the first. Now I must only wait. The end. I look forward to this. I'll hopefully look into this series as well. Mace Windu. Overall, this was a great little story into Maul as a complex character that he has become thanks to the Clone Wars. I really liked the lore in this, and I've always appreciated when, you know, I love all the movies, but for some reason I always have a special place in my heart for the time before the Jedi were wiped out and when the Sith were like a threat, but they did not succeed because it was just, it presented a lot of lore. And I really like Maul. I felt this was a good series for him. Really depicted him well and everything like that. And yeah, this is the first time you see me review a Star Wars material. I am a Star Wars fan. If you'd like me to look into more Star Wars stuff, please let me know. I want to thank y'all for getting joining me and listening to this video. I provide content on various comics as much as possible. Feel free to look at the rest of my channel. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, as I want to grow this channel and bring more content to you and to others. Thank you for joining me, and enjoy and have a good day.